Kia ora everybody, Robett Hollis here. I'm just literally on the road doing a bit of a mission today, so I thought I'd try and smack out a few of these as possible. And I've got a mega list of content stuff I want to talk about, so things that are sort of on my mind and whatever, and I sort of need to get them out. So I figured no better place than now. The one that I had up there was basically, are you grateful? Now, usually, towards the end of the year, start of the new year, everyone gets all hyped up for the New Year's goals, and everyone signs up to the gym memberships, which they're going to gas out of after 2 weeks because they can't be stuffed and they like chocolate too much. Probably me. And there's, I've been reading a little bit about these gratitude journals of putting things down that you're thankful for or whatever. And I haven't actually really told many people, but basically Moleskine do like a daily journal planner type thing. I've had them for the last 5 years, and what has been quite interesting is I try to write down my stuff that's happening every day, but then I'll go back 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I'm going back sort of 5 years, and I'm tracking and I'm trying to see if I can remember those days that I actually had. So I'll try and put out something specific in each of the days, and then so it kind of mentally shows me where I'm actually come from. Like I can, when I get back home tonight, if I look back through and find the date of today, I can usually, pretty much every time I've done it, I can remember the exact day that I wrote the last one a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, which is pretty cool. But what I started doing for the last 3 years is basically at the end of the day, last thing before I go to bed, I'll write basically down like my stuff of whatever I've done for that day. But on the bottom I do a little box, and on the bottom of every single page, and I write down 3 things that day that I was not grateful for, but like stoked on, like 3 awesome things that that happened, or that were cool, or that I liked, or whatever it was. And so I've done it for 3 years now, and it's real, and literally in the entire 3 years I've only had 2 days where it's been bad. Oh, actually 3 days. I've had three days in 3 years which have just been like totally horribly shit and disgustingly bad, and I still remember those days now. But every other time, even if it's been a hard day at work, even if we've lost stuff or stuff's broken or whatever, I've always can find three things, and it's something that I challenge myself to do, and it's actually pretty good, because what you end up doing is, regardless what happens in the day, the last thing you do literally before you turn your phone off is the 3 things that you were stoked on for that day, and 3 things you were grateful for and happy about. And so it actually finishes on positive, because I think way too many people are always thinking of the bad and stuff, and in any situation I always try to look for the positive in people and things, and in any time of situations. And it's something that I've done for three years now, and I've had the journal for 5. And so one thing I would highly recommend to everyone is, it's just, you can use whatever type of journal. I just use the real thick, gnarly Moleskine ones. They just feel solid, and they're pretty epic. And it's the daily journal ones, and at the bottom of it, literally I just do a small little box, and every day I write down 3 things that I was stoked on. And it's super simple and super easy, but I think not many people are actually really truly grateful and stoked on them. Everyone, it's easy to bitch about a lot of stuff, but I remember when I was a Gromi living in Fiji, we were classed as rich because we had a concrete house, and some people at school had tin houses, and it's always perspective. And so we live in New Zealand, that's free. We have access to amazing beaches that are free to walk on. You have so much. You have good clean air, you've got fresh clean water for free. There's like so many good things, and I think too many times people always look in the negative and stuff. And it's something, so maybe a little challenge to yourself would be, start yourself a little journal every day, just write at least one. It's something that I do, and I don't know, I'd rather go to sleep every night stoked on something than pissed about something. And it's something that's worked for me, and I think there's a lot more in this world that we should be happy and grateful for, because we are pretty blessed. And a lot of time people bitch out about some bullshit, and the reality is we live in a pretty sweet world. Alright, see you guys soon. Peace.